Coming up next on the Holistic Wealth Podcast.
I was so inspired by Rihanna's performance in the Super Bowl last night because she went out there with so much confidence. She went out there with a message saying, I'm enough. I don't need to walk around on the stage in a skimpy outfit. I don't need extra props. I don't need extra singers. I don't need all of that. I am enough. I've worked hard. I am confident in my skills and my talents. I can just come out here and let my vocals do the talking, which she absolutely did.
You're listening to the Holistic Wealth Podcast with host Keisha Blair, author of Holistic Wealth and founder of the Institute on Holistic Wealth. And now, here's your host, Keisha Blair.
Today we have another special episode, a solo episode of the podcast on how to manifest money, 8 practical tips for attracting financial abundance and wealth in your life. And I'm so excited to talk about this topic today because it's a favorite topic of our listeners and our subscribers, and that's manifesting money. It's really one of those topics that our listeners love. And before I get into it today, I just want to acknowledge our sponsors, the Institute on Holistic Wealth. And you can check out the website for a range of resources and courses. And the website is www.instituteonholisticwealth.com. And of course, as it relates to this topic that we're discussing, the Trauma of Money Certification Program on the Institute on Holistic Wealth website is so relevant to manifesting money and attracting financial abundance. I urge you all to check that out. And of course, there are a range of resources on the website as well. And just to note that on my website, on KeishaBlair.com, there is a list of 100 positive money affirmations to help you manifest money and abundance in your life. And you can check out that article. It has a list of 100 affirmations, which are so handy to have sometimes when, you feel like you're down and you just need something to pick you up. So just getting into this topic today, as I said, it's a favorite topic of listeners of the podcast. If you had listened to the podcast episode with our guest, Wendy Friesen, you would understand why it's so very popular, because we had an amazing conversation there with Wendy on the topic of manifesting money as she walked her through her own struggles. So I urge you just to listen to that episode as well after you're finished this one. But manifesting money involves aligning your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions with the energy of abundance and prosperity so that you can attract financial abundance into your life. And it's so amazing once we get into these tips, there's so much information out there, but I find that so much of it is lacking now in Holistic Wealth. And that's the expanded and updated version of the book. It really provides a framework for manifesting wealth and success into your life. It really does. The entire Holistic Wealth framework, starting with chapter 1 to the end of the book, gives you all the tools and the skills that you need. So if you have a copy of the book, go back through it as we're going through this episode and make your notes. And if you don't have a copy of the book, just grab that copy online or in bookstores, and it's available everywhere across the globe. And you can go through the book with a new lens. Go through the book with the lens of manifesting, and you'll see how relevant every single chapter is in the book to manifesting. So number 1, we're going to go through these 8 tips today, but number 1, get clear on your financial goals. And this is so critical, right? Because sometimes we make goals and we're not specific. Like I know many of us know about the SMART framework for making goals, right? So it should be specific, measurable, actionable. It should have a timeline involved. That's also true. And that's kind of the basics in terms of goal setting. And I'm going to do another podcast episode on goal setting in terms of how to set goals, but that's the basic, right? And then you have to go on to, well, what happens? What is my risk framework? What happens if I don't meet these goals? What is my plan A? What's my plan B? As I say in the chapter on goals in Holistic Wealth, we should all make goals with the notion that there may be some setbacks or things don't go the way we think. So make those financial goals, be clear. When you're manifesting, you want to have a certain amount in mind. You want to have a certain goal in mind. You want to have a timeline, and all of those parameters help you to go after what you want, right? It helps you to take those risks that you need to take to get there so that, I'm working towards this. So that's the purpose of making those goals. You need to determine how much money you want to attract in your life. Write down those goals and make sure they're specific, measurable, and achievable. Number 2, align your thoughts and beliefs with abundance. Your thoughts and beliefs play a critical role in manifesting money. If you believe that you're worthy of abundance and prosperity, then you are sending out positive energy that will attract financial abundance in your life. On the other hand, if you have negative thoughts and beliefs about money, you will attract scarcity and lack. To align your thoughts and beliefs with abundance, focus on positive affirmations and visualization exercises. Now, this is so critical. Now, in chapter 2 in Holistic Wealth, I talk about life on your terms. I talk about scarcity and naysayers and toxic influences. All of that, right, plays a role in what we believe we can attract in our lives and what we believe we can accomplish in our lives. So we need to get our beliefs right. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to know that we're enough. We can do this. We can make this happen. I was so inspired by Rihanna's performance in the Super Bowl last night. I thought it was such a great example to bring forth in this podcast episode because she went out there with so much confidence. She went out there with a message saying, I'm enough. I don't need to walk around on the stage in a skimpy outfit. I don't need extra props. I don't need extra singers. I don't need all of that. I am enough. I've worked hard. I am confident in my skills and my talents. I can just come out here and let my vocals do the talking, which she absolutely did. And I think it's a great lesson for all of us listening in. It's a great lesson for women who believe at one point or another, all of us women believe that at some point that we're not enough. Well, I think her performance was just a lesson in showing up and saying, listen, I've done the work. I have the talent and I have the skills and I'm enough. So believe that you are enough because you are enough. And whatever God has called you to, he has already equipped you with what you need to do the work, what you need to do to fulfill your purpose in this life. So when you're trying to manifest, believe that you're enough. Believe that you're already equipped. Believe that you're here for that purpose. You just need to show up. You just need to show up and believe and do the work that's necessary. So I thought that was amazing. And, when you're trying to manifest, so many people come to it with lack and scarcity and thinking, I don't have these degrees and I don't have this job and I don't have this money in my bank account. How am I ever going to attract financial abundance when I'm in so much debt? But you can. There is a path forward. There always is hope. In the book, I also spoke about spiritual self-renewal as it relates to not only gratitude, but renewing your faith on a daily basis. So every single day, it means getting up with that renewed vigor and that renewed hope and saying to yourself, I can do this, and I believe in myself. And regardless of the state my bank account is in, I can do this. Number 3 is practice gratitude, which is really a good segue into this from that, because gratitude is that fuel. It's that fuel that gets our headspace into the right, frame of mind for doing this. Because no matter how small, and how little we have now, we can practice gratitude to be just grateful for this, whatever we have. So gratitude is a powerful tool for manifesting money. By focusing on the things you are thankful for, you shift your energy and you attract more positive experiences and abundance into your life. Start a gratitude journal. Write down at least 3 things you're grateful for each and every single day. Now, the Holistic Wealth Personal Workbook is also a great tool for that. It's a great tool for, writing down your goals, your financial goals, crafting goals. If you don't yet have a copy of that, along with your gratitude journal, You can have the Holistic Wealth Personal Workbook, and it's available on Amazon online. It's available there, so you can order that. Number 4, take inspired action. Inspired action is what, will bring forth that manifestation in your life. Because so many people think when you manifest, you just do your vision board, you just do your visualization techniques, you meditate and you think about it all day and it's just going to magically happen. But no, we need to take inspired action. So I know many people out there have heard about, the law of attraction. And part of that law states that like attracts like, right? So to manifest money, you need to take action that aligns with your financial goals and the energy of abundance. So this might mean finding new opportunities to create passive income, finding new opportunities in terms of another job, creating a budget, looking for ways to increase your income. So when you take inspired action, you show the universe that you're serious. You show the world, you show up for yourself, and you feel more empowered because you have taken these steps. Another thing I talk about in holistic wealth is taking measured risks. And that's also part of taking inspired or, doing the action and doing the work needed. So when you take those risks, then you'll see how much more you can accomplish. So I had a guest on the Holistic Wealth podcast. You can also go back to her episode. Her name is Morgan Overhold. When Morgan listened to the manifestation episode on this podcast, and that's the episode with Wendy Friesen, she was so inspired by that episode. She listened to the episode and she wrote down, on a check, she tore out a check leaf and she wrote down a 6-figure sum. I don't know what the sum was, but it was a 6-figure sum. And she posted it somewhere where she could see it every day. And she had a timeline. And she told me that she achieved her goal. She actually tweeted it on Twitter that she listened to this podcast and she took inspired action to achieve her goals. And Morgan manifested that 6-figure sum. And it was just delightful. I have a case study on that. I interviewed Morgan about how she went about listening and applying the techniques from the Holistic Wealth podcast to manifest that money. And it worked for her. So that's amazing. Because one of the things we discussed in that podcast episode are money blocks or money walls. And I remember Wendy saying that she had a serious money wall. She had negative messaging from her dad, right? Saying that, women can't do this. Women aren't good with money. Women are bad financial managers. Now, if you feel like you have negative money messages, then that's something that you need to work on getting rid of and identify the source and identify the messages and work on it. In the Trauma of Money certification on the Institute on Holistic Wealth website, that course is there and it's available, and it actually helps you to identify money trauma. It helps you to work through that money trauma, and it helps you to craft a new relationship with money. It helps you to transform your relationship with money. And whether or not you want to use the certification just for you, or you want to use the certification then to help others after you're done, that's completely fine. It is a great course to help you to also manifest money, because money trauma will prevent you from achieving your financial goals. Unresolved money trauma will prevent you from achieving those money goals. And so that's also a critical piece that isn't often talked about when we talk about manifesting money, right? It's that unresolved money trauma that's there lingering, and it stays there and it festers, and it sometimes gets worse over time as we, go through these setbacks, as life throws us these curveballs. It can get so much more worse if it's left there unresolved. So reach out, visit the Institute on holisticwealth.com, check out the Trauma of Money course, and it's flexible, it's online, it's self-paced, and there are payment plans available. Number 5, surround yourself with positive energy. Now, this is so critical, right? Your environment plays a significant role in attracting abundance and prosperity into your life. Surround yourself with people who are positive, who are supportive, and who believe in your ability to manifest money. Avoid negative people who drain your energy and discourage you from reaching your financial goals. There's an entire chapter on toxic relationships in Holistic Wealth. There's an entire chapter on that because I know how critical that is, especially when you feel down, especially when you're going through a huge setback. And then you have toxic naysayers. They're toxic people in your life telling you, you know what? You just have to accept your situation. There's nothing you can do. You don't have the resources. You don't have a plan. You don't have a job. You don't have this degree. You don't have that credential. We need to phase those out. We need to get rid of those toxic influences so that you can attract that abundance in your life. I have personally walked that road, so I know how difficult it is, but it is so doable. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. It's so amazing. When my podcast producer said to me, you need to start doing some solo episodes, I thought, no. I thought maybe that would not be a good idea because it's so much more when you do solo episodes than when you have a guest, right? And I didn't have that confidence. But you know what happened? I listened to that positive influence, to that positive voice saying to me, you are enough. You can do it even better than, right? And I listened, and the statistics and the podcast downloads are showing that these solo episodes are far more popular than the episodes with guests. And that's why I've been doing more of those. I won't ever just focus on solo episodes. I love having guests on the show. But what I'm saying is I learned that I was enough. I had what it take. I had enough to be able to do that. And I want you to know too, that those positive influences in your life, that's a gift. That's a gift. And we need to harness that and to cultivate that. You know, when we talk about your holistic wealth bank account and really making deposits to your holistic wealth bank account, that's a part of manifesting. That is a critical part of manifesting, because when you fill your holistic wealth bank account with these positive influences, you're building up your manifestation efforts. You're building towards that. And so fill your holistic wealth bank account with those people whose energy just invigorates you, especially when it invigorates you to achieve your dreams. And you know what? You can go back to Holistic Wealth. Go back through the book with a manifestation lens and tell me what you think. Number 6, focus on abundance, not scarcity. So instead of focusing on the lack or the lack of money, focus on the abundance of opportunities and resources around you. And there's so many resources around you. When you focus on abundance, you attract more abundance into your life. And it's so true. It's so true. The mind is a powerful thing. And when you start to look for those opportunities, you're going to start to see more of them. Number 7, let go of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs about money can block the flow of abundance and prosperity into your life. To manifest money, it is important to identify and release these limiting beliefs. And if you think you need to work with a coach, either a life coach, a money coach, a therapist to help you identify and overcome these limiting beliefs, if you think you need that help, that is also critical. And I encourage everyone to make that self-assessment to see if you need to have that coach in place to help you with limiting beliefs. I also do that coaching myself. I've worked with clients on that. And of course, as I mentioned before, both the Trauma of Money certification program and the Certified Holistic Wealth Consultant program are useful in terms of identifying and releasing limiting beliefs. Be open to receiving is the last tip. Be open to receiving. So the final step in manifesting money is be open to receiving the abundance and be receptive to the abundance that is coming your way. Trust that the universe has your back and that you will receive financial abundance, you will receive prosperity, and you will attract that into your life. Be open to receiving it in all forms, right? Whether it's through a raise, a new job, an unexpected windfall. So much of what we think of manifesting money is getting this huge lump sum just drop in our laps, right? But let's look at all the bits and pieces coming in, and you can write them down. And every success that comes your way, celebrate it, write it down. Sometimes it's just, if you're an entrepreneur, sometimes it's a new client, sometimes it's a new business deal, sometimes it's a new coaching or speaking opportunity, sometimes it's a new book opportunity. The gamut is so large. And not limiting our minds to what form it comes in is also crucial. It comes in many forms. It can be someone picking up the phone and giving your name to somebody else and recommending you for that gig or for that new job or for that new opportunity. So just be open to receiving it and be positive. Know that you're going to attract this into your life. Now, we're coming towards the end of the episode. I hope this was so helpful for you. There's so many resources that I mentioned today in this episode, previous Holistic Wealth Podcast episodes, including the episode with Wendy Friesen, as well as the courses on the Institute on Holistic Wealth website, as well as my recent blog post on 100 affirmations to manifest money and prosperity in your life. And I'll make that link in the show notes. All those resources mentioned here will be linked in the show notes. So don't worry, they'll be there. And if you do have the time, leave us a quick review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, whichever platform you listen to, or whether it's YouTube. We're always so glad to hear from you. And feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have at info@KeishaBlair.com. And do, if you don't have a copy of Holistic Wealth Expanded and Updated 36 Life Lessons to help you recover from disruption, find your life purpose, and achieve financial freedom, do get your copy of the book and do get your copy of the Holistic Wealth Workbook. And also check out the resources on the Institute on Holistic Wealth website. It's the beginning of the week. Today is Monday, and I'm so happy that I can start the week with you all. Have a great week, everyone. Lots of love to you and lots of success on your manifesting journey.
The Holistic Wealth Podcast with Keisha Blair is brought to you by...
Have you joined the Institute on Holistic Wealth? If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Choose your membership plan at the Institute on Holistic Wealth/memberships to join. As a member, you'll get access to free worksheets, advice, coaching, and an intentional design workshop. As you start to live a more holistically wealthy lifestyle, you'll want to stay for a very long time. So go to Institute on Holistic Wealth/memberships to join. If you haven't read the book yet, pick up a copy of the award-winning best-selling Holistic Wealth 36 Life Lessons to help you recover from disruption, find your life purpose, and achieve financial freedom.